thought I'd do a quick video on the basics of Ethernet cable. So got here a piece of unterminated Ethernet cable. This is Cat5, so this is rated at 1 gigabit connection speeds. This is a pre-made patch cable, so this thing's about 1.5 meters long. It's got RJ45 plugs here at each end, which are used to terminate into a specific device. So I use these as far as humanly possible on my network, rather than Wi-Fi where possible. So smart TVs, PCs, servers, things like that, I always use Ethernet where I can. It's faster, it's more reliable, and it's certainly more secure. So I thought I'd just do a quick video going through the basics of the cable. So you can buy patch cables that are already made up. These have got the RJ45 connectors already installed, and you can also buy, as I've got here, just the raw unterminated cable. So this is perfect if you want to make up your own patch cables, or if you want to run Ethernet over long distances, as I have. So in my house, in my office, I keep my router and all my servers, but then from there I've got a star network where I've run Ethernet cable under the floorboards and then terminated them into access points in various rooms of the house. So I've always got access to an Ethernet connection where possible. So let's just look at the what a piece of Ethernet cable looks like. So if I just uncoil this piece here that's seems to have tangled itself, as they always do. So the outside is just a nylon outer core for mechanical protection. Somewhere on this cable you will always have some labeling. So I don't know if the camera will focus on that. Ran the wrong way. So yes, there we go. So that says, can you see that? Yep, just about. So that says that's a Cat5 cable. So if you look, sorry, Cat6. So that is 1 gigabit in terms of speed, 23 gauge wire, and UTP, which means it's unshielded. So there's no mechanical shielding between the nylon outer core and the multi-strand inner data carrying cables. That's kind of take it apart and have a look. So I've just got a cheap tool that I bought off the internet. This is a RJ45 stripping and cutting and plug termination tool. So here is for cutting. This next recess here will strip the outer nylon sheath, and at the end here, once you've got all the wires placed inside a RJ45 plug, this will crimp everything together. I'll do that in a later video. So just for this video now, let's just strip a piece of cable so you can see what it looks like inside. Just give that a little twist and pull it out. So first thing you see is a number of multicolored wires. So there's 8 wires in total in 4 pairs. Look, if I just pull the pairs apart here, you can see there's 4 pairs of 2. Yep, I think you can see that. So there's a solid blue and white pair, solid brown and white pair, then you've got a solid green and green and white pair, and lastly an orange and white pair. And then right in the center you've got a plastic core which keeps the pairs separated and just running nicely within the outer PVC core. The reason these wires are paired in the way they are, they're twisted. So each pair, one of the wires will carry data in one direction, and then the other wire will carry data in the return direction. So as that happens, the electromagnetic fields that they create will balance each other out, and so in effect that's their own form of shielding. So it minimizes electrical interference between the actual cables themselves. On shielded cables, which this is not, between the outer PVC core and the data carrying wires on the inside, you might get some additional shielding, but this one hasn't. And so what you would do if you were going to terminate this now into your own RJ45 is untwist each of these pairs. So let me just untwist one pair. So here, so what you do is like I've done there for that pair, untwist them all, flatten them out, cut that core out in the middle, and then push that into an RJ45 plug. So if I just look at this shop bought terminated patch lead, this is what an RJ45 connector looks like. It's got a PVC shroud on the back just to protect things. You can move that out the way, and then if you look in there carefully, you can see, look on the other side, you can see all 8 cables are in there in their various colors. And then there are standards A and B for the way that you terminate them on each end. In truth, it doesn't really matter as long as you've got the same connectors in each pin at each end, then it will work perfectly fine. It's also got this little plastic connector here, so as you push that into its socket, it clips in and gives you a nice firm connection and won't fall out easily. You just pull down this connector and pull it out, and then the boot there gives you a little bit of connection on the end. So that's kind of it really. But as I say, if you can, always use Ethernet cable. It's faster, it's more resilient, and it's certainly more secure. Obviously you can't do that on all of your devices, your phones and tablets or laptops. You're probably going to be using Wi-Fi. That's just one of those things, but if you can, always use Ethernet. I do. Hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. Please subscribe if you can and hit the bell for notifications. Next video, I'll probably show you a couple of ways of terminating these yourself if you're making up your own patch cables or running lengths of cable around the home and you need to put RJ45s on each end. Okay, hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next one.